Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I don't know where you are in the world, and thank you for joining us today for this open day all about ISO 27000 lead auditor certification and the CISSP. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brooks-Kempler. I've been a cybersecurity expert for over 20 years. I've been a CISSP instructor for over 10 years, and I have to say that the CISSP has literally changed the trajectory of my career. It opened doors for me that I could have never, ever have even imagined. I can tell you that except for being in CISSP and a CISSP instructor, I also served on the ISC2 board of directors. I just got back from a board meeting last week, which was absolutely fascinating because for those of you who do not know ISC2, it's today the largest membership association in the world for cybersecurity. We have almost 700,000 associates, members, and candidates, and we try to serve them as to the best ability that we can. PDCA is definitely part of that. We always strive to build a better and safer digital world, and CSSP is one place where we hopefully make a big difference. But I know what you're thinking. How can I pass the CISSP when success rates are below 50%? That is, by the way, not official numbers. IC2 do not publish the official numbers. I don't know the official numbers. I try to find them out. I don't know. But I can tell you that after 10 years of teaching this course, I don't believe in 50% and I don't believe in 20%. I believe that almost anyone who has the right attitude, who takes it seriously, who has the right experience can pass the CSSP. It really is not that hard. But let's beat the odds together and let's start with the beginning. So, what is CSSP? So, CSSP has recently finally celebrated its 30th year. So it was introduced in 1994. We just had a big celebration in Vegas on Security Congress, which was absolutely amazing for those of you in North America or in Southern America, Latin America. It's a wonderful event. People from all over the world travel to it, and it's going to be next year in Nashville. So definitely mark it on your calendars. So CISSP has been around for 30 years. We have, as I said, 600,000, almost 700,000 members, associates, and candidates. We have joining IC2, meaning that you'll be part of this network. You have colleagues and you'll network with people from over 170 different countries. It gives you incredible opportunities and it is a real game changer. And you can see the salaries with and without the CISSP. The CISSP is worth a lot of money. And I'm guessing that most of you who are already here and joined this presentation wanted to listen to Mauro talk about ISO 27000 and me talk about CISSP. And I'm guessing you already know the benefits of getting the CISSP. I've never met a CISSP who couldn't find work, who couldn't find opportunities. Yeah, the market is not easy. It used to be easier in the past, but CISSP really is a game changer. It opens up so many doors locally and globally. For me, I relocated to the United Arab Emirates almost 3 years ago. And the first thing I did as a CISSP and as someone who relocated was to reach out to the local ISC2 chapter. The chapter program is a global program. Everything is non-for-profit, by the way, ISC2, CISSP, the chapters, everything is non-for-profit because we want to keep professionals together. So the first thing I did was to reach out to the chapter, and that was a game changer for me starting my career here in this region. But let's be real, it's not easy. And I'm sure you've all heard the horror stories about people who took it for twice or three times or four times or five times and couldn't pass. And I can tell you that I personally know incredible cybersecurity professionals who didn't pass the exam, who failed the exam again and again, or were too afraid to take it. And I totally get it because I've been there myself. I had a folder on my computer called CISSP for about 5, 6 years before I actually mustered the courage to take the CISSP. I heard about the CISSP when I was about 2 years in the industry. It took me another 8 to actually take it. About 5 years I collected more and more samples and additional books and presentations and exam prep vouchers and everything. And I was absolutely terrified. The sheer volume of data that you have to know with the CISSP is really overwhelming. The CISSP is built out of 8 domains of knowledge, or what we call the CBK, the Common Body of Knowledge. I was privileged enough 3.5 years ago to take part in the co-writing of the ISO, in the co-writing of the ISO of the CISSP official student guide. The 8 domains, and you can see the percentage here on the screen, range between 10% to software development, all the way up to 16% to security and risk management. A lot of people talk about the CISSP and they say it is a mile wide and an inch deep. And that is almost accurate. I say it is a mile wide and about 2 to 3 inches deep. And the reason I say 2 to 3 inches, because in some domains, especially those that you can see that weigh more, you do need to know more than the basic. Just reading the book is not going to be enough. Just reviewing sample question is not going to be enough. You have to actually understand how to implement these principles in the real life. As Mauro said, the CISSP is more practical, it's more operation oriented, but it has a lot of things regarding the governance of cybersecurity, the management of cybersecurity, understanding how it is correlating to the actual business world. For me, having the CISSP helped me better understand cybersecurity in the entire business context and better communicate it with my colleagues and with the C-level executives as well. Now, the problem with IC2 or with CISSP is because of the sheer volume of information, passive learning methods like watching videos or reading a book are not going to be enough. You have to build a strategy that is going to work for you. You have to also practice how you're going to tackle this exam. Many cybersecurity professionals have, and present company included, by the way, have ADHD, which makes us very creative, quick on our feet, but sometimes it is very hard for us to focus. And the CISSP takes 3 hours. You have to undergo between 100 and 150 questions to pass the exam. Passing the exam requires you to get 700 score out of a potential 1,000, so it's 70%. But it's not enough to know 70% of the content. You have to get 70% in each and every one of the domains. So it's not, you can't say, oh, I don't know network security, but I know the rest of them really well. No, you have to show your proficiency level in each and every one of the 8 domains. And that is a challenge. You have to focus. It takes time. And I know that what you're afraid of. A lot of people tell me, I'm afraid, well, what if I fail? Well, if you fail, you either try to do it again, or you understand that it's not for you, which is also okay. But what if you pass? I don't have time. Well, are you binging on Netflix? Then you have time. Or are you reading a book that you like? Are you listening to music? You can study for the CISSP. A lot of people think that studying for the CISSP is going to take you 6 to 9 months and you're going to spend 8 hours a day doing only CISSP. That's not the case. In a second, I will share the strategy that I developed over the years, over 10 years of delivering the CISSP, which helps my student tackle the fact that none of us have time. We're all cybersecurity professionals. Most people who take the CISSP are senior professionals with at least 5 to 10 years of experience. You have your day job, you have your family, you have your friends, your kids, everything. And I'm telling you, you can find the time. It is a targeted project that will probably take you about 3 months. And for 3 months, yes, this will have to take a priority over other things you do. And last, it's so expensive. And I'm the first one to say, certifications are expensive, not just CISSP. Certifications in general are expensive. And why are they expensive? Because it takes a lot of time and energy and money to develop these certifications, to build them, to get them to the point that, like the CISSP, they are the gold standard in cybersecurity. Unlike other certification, there are no brain dumps for CISSP. You have to actually know the content. which means that to develop such rigorous plans and for such rigorous exams, you have to invest in it. ISC2 every 3 years is releasing a new version of the book. It is updated. We include the newest, or newest to the point where this book was written, but the newest articles and the newest case studies. And we talk about recent technology. We don't keep things out of date. Yes, the current CBK includes things like AI. Would I want it to include more? Yes, but we know cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is out of date the second it is published. It is what it is, but it is possible. So it is expensive, but the benefits for your career, you've seen before what the slide before that showed how much money cybersecurity professionals make with and without the CISSP. You'll make it back. Now, I know you're afraid, but I want to help you beat the odds. There are a lot of programs out there. A lot of people opt for self-studies. And I'm a big advocate for self-studies. I've done my BA and my master's in the Open University. I'm doing now my doctorate remotely. I'm a big, big advocate for self-study. But when it comes to the CISSP, the sheer volume of data can be overwhelming. So, and also understanding what you need to learn and what you don't need to learn, what you have to focus on and what you don't have to focus on, because there are so many different versions and ideas and places that you can go. So first, master the content. The first part of the course is always about the content itself. You get the full, in my course, you get the full 40 hours official course according to ISC2's guidelines. But you also get domain summaries, which are short videos and summaries that I created explaining and demystifying the hardest parts of the content, things that people usually struggle with. So I try to give you that extra help. I give you recommended guides. I give you summaries, flashcards, even understanding the actual terminology. What is a vulnerability versus what is a threat versus what is a risk can make a huge difference. Second part is practice makes perfect. That's something that my mom used to tell me when I was a child practicing the piano. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. I try to incorporate as many questions as possible during the training itself. And I also added to the official course and the summaries and everything, another webinar, another mastermind actually, that focuses on the hardest questions that I can find. I'm looking for them all the time. I just had one on Friday with my latest cohort. We went through dozens of questions, the hardest ones I could find, because sometimes knowing those little tips and tricks can make a huge difference. How to analyze a question. For example, I'll give you an example for every question in the CISSP exam. The first thing I always encourage my students to do is try to identify which principle of the CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, is being addressed in the question. If the question pertains to integrity of the data, make sure that each and every answer tackles integrity. And the ones that do not pertain to integrity, you can scratch them off. They're not relevant. Yes, some questions in the CISSP you will have to guess. You will not know 100% of the content. It's impossible to know 100%. Also, because it's up to date and it changes all the time, and we have hundreds of thousands of members that are currently writing new materials all the time, it's impossible to know what they'll ask you. It might be a case study from a few weeks ago that was not in the official study guide, and that's okay. But those strategies that I go over will help you identify and analyze those questions. And last but not least is get it done. I do everything I can to push and push and push my students to register for the exam, to make sure that before we finish the course, each and every one of my students have already signed up to when they're going to take the exam. I'm pushing my students because I do believe that each and every one of them can get that congratulations message on their first try. And that's the aim. But there's a catch. There's always a catch, isn't there? Well, the catch in my course is that not everyone gets in. I keep this course very small, very exclusive, and that's by design. Yes, I could open up cohorts with 50 or 100 participants per course. Yes, I could open one every couple of months and teach. And I used to do that, by the way. Years and years ago, I used to teach every 2 months and I had two, three courses running in the same time. That was great. But at some point, I decided that I want only the best of the best. I, for those who will want to join the course, you will have to go through an application process. You'll have to fill in your details. You will have to provide a little bit of background. So I will see that you are in the right place in your career to actually make the most out of this course. I mean, for some people, they don't care. When I took the CISSP boot camp, we were about 22 people in the course. 100% of those who took the exam passed it on their first try, which is amazing. Only one tiny problem. I was the only one who took the exam. So yes, 100% out of those who took the exam passed it on their first try, but only one in 20 or 22 actually took the exam. For me, a statistic like that is failure. I want each and every person who joins me to this course to actually get their chance to actually do their exam, pass the exam, and get certified. And I do try to tailor this course to fit busy professional schedule. So I want to talk a little. I see quite a few questions that were sent to me, so I will answer your questions. So 3 people asked me about why is it only 3 times a year? To be honest, to accommodate my schedule, I'm very busy and I can only open it 3 times a year. Another person asked me, when is this course? How does it run? What's the format? So the format is once a week. You join me once a week to a live 5 hours session. In each session, we tackle a specific domain. And once we're done with this domain, you can go on and start reviewing the next domains towards next week. The reason it is once a week and not twice a week, as it used to be in the past, or not 5 days, as I know some instructors do, I want to give you the opportunity to do it in parallel to your daytime job. And because I want you to do it in parallel to your daytime job, I want to give you the opportunity to, if you missed a session, to go back to review it. If you don't have time this week, join us next week. So it's not too overwhelming, and you can get certified within the time frame. So it takes about 2.5 months from start to end. You will have to invest for every hour in class. You will have to invest about the same at home. So if we're talking about 40 hours in class, you need to invest an additional 40 hours at home. Now I see that there are a lot of questions, so I'm trying to see what else. I'm starting my cybersecurity career. No, you cannot take the CISSP course when you're just starting out your career. To get the CISSP, you need to have at least 5 years of experience and at least 2 out of the 8 domains of the CBK. There are other courses that you can take. For example, there's IC2 has the Certified in Cybersecurity, which does not require any experience and gives you a great overall understanding about cybersecurity. So I absolutely encourage you to take that. It also will help you understand how cybersecurity questions are built with IC2 in IC2 framework. So it will help you down the line if you want to go to cybersecurity. Jacob, I see that you're trying to download the toolkit. It doesn't work. So ping me on WhatsApp or LinkedIn, probably easiest, and I'll find out what's going on there. I will check. Are ISC2 materials sufficient to cracking the exam? That is a great question. So let's talk about the materials. The answer is yes and no. You can read half a dozen books about CISSP and it won't be enough, and you can read one and it will be enough, because it's not just about the materials, it's also about the actual how you tackle the questions, what do you do with them. So actually the CISSP courseware is enough. You don't need more than that, but you do need to sort of immerse yourself in the content. The flashcards, and by the way, all my flashcards are based on the free ISC2 glossary that is available on the ISC2 website. And you can use the ISC2 website and create your own flashcards, absolutely. But if you take the official student guides and you review it and you have the experience, yes, it's enough. You don't need to have an additional book. Some people don't really like a specific book, and some people love the IC2 book. Some people say it's boring, I want to use another book. So it's also a matter of personal taste. I personally used a different book when I was studying. However, the book changed dramatically since then because it's been over 10 years. So it really depends. Regarding which day of the week, so there'll be a course on Sundays and there'll be a course on Tuesday. The reason there'll be a course on Sundays and Tuesday, probably for the next course, because some people, especially people in the US, want to join on Sundays when they don't work, and other people don't mind doing it in the afternoons when they work. So it's going to be 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time, if memory serves, and all the details are on the website, so you can see everyone. Can you take the ISO course if you're a beginner in the field? That is a question from Mario, so I'm sure Mario will answer that in a second. Oh, that is so nice. So it's about time, Omri, it's about time you take the CISSP. So we'll talk about that later on. Though the CCSP is great. So I want to, oh, what happened to my presentation? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what this course includes. And if anyone has additional questions, feel free to ping me later on LinkedIn. So first and foremost, you get the official CISSP bootcamp, including everything that ISC2 is providing, which is the 40 hours live in-person training with official ISC2 instructor and official ISC2 student kit and everything that it entails. Second, you get and that is worth, by the way, $2,497. That is ISC2 pricing, so that's that. In addition, I created the domain summaries, the recordings, the flashcards, and lots of other goodies. For example, the additional materials, the resource guides, additional questions, the mastermind. So all of that is worth, you have $327 for the domain summaries and flashcards, and you have the mastermind, which is $197. And to be honest, that is the only lesson that I will tell you. Do not miss it live. All the others you can watch later, you can review in your own time, that's fine. But the mastermind is the one thing that I really encourage each and every one of my students to join live, to be there live. It is really the most important part in your CISSP preparation journey. So, as I said, all the offering together reaches about $3,000. How much is it? $3,021. By the way, a lot of those prices are created by IC2. That's not something that I can control. But because it's a bundle and because I want to give my students the best possibility to actually tackle and pass this exam, I created a bundle offer, which is $2,597. That is the price. That's going to be the price going forward. However, because Eyal created this incredible opportunity for you guys to join us today, we added an additional discount. This is the lowest price that you can ever get for an official CISSP course. This is an official course with the mastermind, with the flashcards, with the summaries, with all the other goodies that are included, and it's $2,207. That is the lowest price that is available as far as I know for CISSP. It is for limited time only. It is for the next 48 hours. And if you're interested in that, so you can go again on my website, and I will put the link here in the chat, and you can put in the coupon presale 148 and get this incredible offer. Now, I will say that, as I said before, this is an application-only course. You can't just join this course because you feel like it. If you do not have the right experience, it's going to be a disservice to you and a disservice to me to bring you to the course. That's not something that I want for you. Yes, I could open it up to anyone who wants, and what do I care? I get money. That's not my approach. I don't do it for the money. I do it to get people certified. For me, the CISSP is a passion project. I love teaching this course. I saw here on the comments someone who studied with me in 2019, 5 years ago. I absolutely love teaching the CISSP. It's lots of fun. It's probably my favorite course to teach. And that's why I do it. That's why I'm so particular about who can join this course. So only people with 5 years of experience in at least 2 out of the 8 domains can join. When you go on this website and you try to register, you will have to fill in your details. If you have the experience, you'll be sent to a registration link. Even if you were accepted, there are, as I said, only 20 seats per course. I can't offer more than 20 seats per course. Unfortunately, I don't have the capacity to handle more than that. So if you are not, if you weren't able to register for this course, don't worry about it. The next course, we already have all the dates. It's going to be in March. So really don't worry about it. There will be other courses.